Hi, guys. Welcome to
Hi.
another episode of the Niche Girls podcast. I'm Jessie,
I'm Yolanda.
I'm Kristen.
and look at us go. All
We
right,
did
in
it.
order.
We got
We
it, you
did
guys.
it. Amazing. How are you guys doing this week?
I'm good. I've
Yeah?
been busy. I celebrated July 4th, and when I say
Yep.
celebrated, I mean that I went swimming and I watched fireworks. So,
I mean, that sounds like
Yeah.
an amazing
you
way to
know,
celebrate.
What else is
yeah,
there
Um,
to do on July 4th, you know?
yeah,
the hottest
exactly. I
July
did the
4th we've
same
had in
thing.
years. It
Yeah,
really
I
is.
honestly it was. I was outside and I was like, "Oh good Lord, this is
Yeah.
so hot. I'm sweating. I'm literally drenched." And I was sitting in the shade. In
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
shade.
we had the news on, and there was one county in the Central Florida that it was the hottest July 4th since 1932, and it broke the record by one
My
degree.
word.
So a lot's
I
happening in
believe it.
Florida.
Yeah, it was hot out there. It
Ugh.
was a hot one.
It's
What'd you and
bad.
your kids do, Kristen?
We just hung out by the pool all
All you
day.
can do.
We didn't even catch
Yeah.
fireworks. My parents came over and we just grilled. And then I've been sick for probably like a month now. You can probably still hear it in my
A
voice.
little.
um, so yeah, so I've been like trying to pack it in early, and so that's what we did. We just like hung out by the pool literally all day, and then just grilled, and the kids were exhausted because the water and the sun and the heat will like take it
It's
out of
hot.
you. I was
Oh yeah.
exhausted, and yeah, just
Yeah, that's
Nice.
awesome. I'm lucky. I can see the Disney fireworks from my
mm,
apartment. So we just hung out at the pool, like I said, all day. We ended up making like ribs in the house because the grills were
Oh,
so
nice.
packed. We were like, let's just cook at
yeah.
home and
Yeah.
eat at home. My friend Janice and Jake's friend Sarah was over. And it was just nice. It was simple, nothing crazy. And then we just watched fireworks at the pool. So we
I
didn't
love
leave
that.
the house the entire day.
No, that's amazing.
It
Yeah,
is.
it was great. Well, speaking of the summer heat, that
Hmm.
is actually our topic for today. So, we're going to give you guys some fun tips and tricks of how to stay cool, some things that we would do in your situation and what we
Yes.
do every day when we go to Disney World as well, because
Yep.
Florida's hot all year round, even hotter during the summer. We've had heat advisories recently, which I'm like, wow, it's
Yeah.
been, the degree of 112, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You,
Heat,
you get
heat
in the
and
car and it's
storms,
just like
because
you're baking.
with the heat brings obviously crazy rainstorms. So,
Yeah.
but trying to deal
Hmm.
I
with
mean,
both when you're on vacation.
yeah, and the thing is, like, at least the rain, like, somewhat cools it down, but then it evaporates and then it gets sticky, and
Oh.
there's just people that don't know how to handle that.
Yeah,
Yeah, me. I'm
it is
people.
hard if you are not from
Hi,
here.
people.
It is. I mean,
I'm from here and it's still hard.
yeah, it's
Yeah, I
difficult.
had someone ask me the other day. I was in a restroom at Disney World, and they were washing their hands and like, oh my God, like I wonder if you live here, if you ever get used to the heat. And I just looked at the lady while I was washing my hands, and I go, I've been in Florida my entire life. You don't get used to it, you just deal with it.
You
Like
just kind of
Yeah.
complain
you
about it.
learn, yeah,
You learn like
you can
like
complain about it, but
you learn
yeah.
tricks to kind of deal with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You don't get used to it. That's not a thing. But you deal with it, and that's just what you do. You want to have fun at Disney World? Well, guess what? You got to deal with the heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, does anyone off the top of their head have like the number one that is like your go to for getting rid of the heat or dealing with the heat?
I have okay. Well, I'll
Yolanda?
name the basics too that we're probably all gonna say, but then I'll say my number one thick girl one. So the
Yeah.
basic two that obviously are really important is water and sunscreen. Don't don't even play. Okay, bring your canteens. I know you might not want to carry a bag. Just bring it. Bring water. Never be seen without water
Bring it.
during the summer. Okay, you're gonna because if you think you're drinking enough, you're not drinking enough. The ices, the Diet Coke. If you're a Diet Coke person like me and you're addicted to Diet Coke, too bad. You need to be drinking the H2O, okay? And
Too
then
bad.
sunscreen like every hour. Especially if you're even me, I'm slightly tan, but if you are fair skin, just bring it. Douse yourself in the sunscreen. Okay. My number one tip that I do because I am a thicker person, which you can't see on the podcast, but um, is Dove deodorant or Body Glide because during the summer I am forced to wear shorts because of the heat here, and my thighs, you could light a cigarette between them. It gets so hot between my thighs, and it is unbearable and everything sticks anyways. So Body Glide is a product you can get on Amazon. It's a stick, it's like a stick of deodorant and you rub it between your thighs, or maybe if you have any other parts of your body that stick together, you can rub it between there. But it does like kind of, I've noticed, necessarily it doesn't stand up to Florida heat all the time and you can kind of sweat it off. I also use it when I do like the races. But the second one is if you get Dove white stick deodorant, it's an antiperspirant, so you can't sweat it off. So it's amazing for water parks. Like if you put that between your thighs or between if you get like itchy underarms or under your chest, amazing. Does not sweat off. Your thighs will just, you can walk all day. And that is my number one heat tip because on top of already being
Okay.
uncomfortable heat wise, the chafing and the pain that that brings is a whole nother ordeal. So that's, I won't leave the house without it and without doing it.
And you said it's what is it? Dove something? Because I
Dove
need to try
white,
that.
Dove white
Yeah.
stick deodorant. So like plain,
Yeah.
Dove
what
white.
Just
has to
regular
be the white
Dove.
stick. Can't be like a clear, can't be like plain old, like 2000s white stick deodorant. And for water
Wow.
parks,
Yeah.
it is fantastic. And it just, yeah,
I've
I
never
love
tried
it.
it for water parks, and that is a hot tip that I will
Yeah.
definitely try because I mean, my thighs, they don't typically stick, but there are
Yeah.
some days that
Yeah.
they stick more than others, and
Yeah.
it's not great. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I need to put on shorts because, the shorts will take make a barrier." But I've
Yeah.
tried the Body Glide and that it worked
It
Right.
sometimes.
washes off. It just doesn't last long
Yeah.
enough. And then also, I've tried even like with dresses and stuff like that, because obviously, like I love being, try to be a Disney influencer, wear cute outfits. But even like the slip
Yeah.
shorts, sometimes my thighs are just really thick, so slip shorts ride up because my thighs are
Yep.
constantly rubbing together. So even with slip shorts, which I think is a great tip, they ride. I've tried the ones with the rubber on the bottom band. They all ride up. I have no luck. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's my secret hot tip.
That's a
Yeah, and
hot
I
tip.
think
I love
it's
that.
important to mention too, it's not just like the thick girls because
No.
this like the heat will make you swell. So normally you could not have these issues if you're like from a cooler climate and you only
Ah.
go,
Yep.
but down here like you're just in the heat all the time, like your body's going to swell. I know like my hands after being outside for a
My
long time, I
hands.
always like have a hard time getting my rings off cuz I'm just like at the end of the day
Yes.
from being in the heat and drinking all that water. So like your body's going to do weird things. So don't be like, "Oh, I don't have that problem." Like my thighs don't first of all, I don't know what that your thighs don't, that's fine, but like good for you, but like they might start because you're walking around and you're hot and you're sweating and you're swollen and you're doing all things, so just
I imagine kids might get chafy
think
too,
ahead.
so it's a great thing to bring. I don't
My
know. I
kids
don't
do.
know.
I've been
I
here with some
mean,
of my friends that are very slender, and like she's like, I like my shorts are, she's been wearing her shorts and just like her shorts rubbing against her leg
yep,
Yes.
caused like shaping because she was
that
getting
happens
so
to
hot and
me.
sweaty. So it's like it wasn't her thighs rubbing against them like
It's
together. It
your
was just her
shorts.
shorts were causing it. So you
Yes.
don't know what's gonna happen. So just
Yep. And it's
prepare.
not just women. It happens to men too. So
Yes.
that's the thing. Like, would they put on a Dove deodorant to help that? I'm not sure, but it's worth
Yeah.
a shot if it actually helps.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, that's a hot tip. I love that. I wrote it down so that I
Yeah.
can look
Yes. I'll
that
send you a picture
specific
of it
deodorant up.
after.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
We'll put it
Jesse,
in stories. How about that?
I have one that you can probably tell people, and it's a pair of shoes that she owns for the rain because I used to carry around
Ooh.
Oh,
shoes with me.
oh my God, I should have brought those for props.
And
Come
so
on.
this is a great one because I used to literally carry different shoes in my park reporter bag. So
Yeah. So I'm just gonna state that I'm not a Crocs person. I don't wear Crocs. Yolanda loves them. I don't wear them. I don't like the way that they look.
She
They
just
look like
hasn't
a
seen the light yet, yo. It's fine.
I
We'll get
haven't.
there.
I just I can't get past the way they look. I've heard that
they're
they're
cozy,
comfy.
man. They're cozy.
I understand that, but I can't get past like the main look of them, which is
Uh-huh.
why I have Crocs, but they're not the normal Crocs. They are sneakers, which is what Yolanda's talking about. So
Which
I
one?
have Croc sneakers. They look like a pair of
They're
Nikes,
cute.
but they're cute. Yeah, I love them. We can post those in stories too.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're amazing because they are Croc sneakers. They are made of the same material. They have the same bubblies on the inside, and they're waterproof. So you don't have to wear socks. You can wear
They
socks
have
if you want to
holes.
wear them. Yep, if you want to wear them during the day, and it's not going to rain, you can absolutely wear socks. But again, they're made out of that rubber material, so you don't have to wear socks, and they have holes in them, so you can walk right through puddles, and it's actually really refreshing to just get that water on your feet. It's great.
Yeah. And then you
I
can
love
wash
them.
them out, and then I imagine that by the
Yeah,
next
rinse
morning,
them
if you
out.
were staying in like a Disney hotel, that you could probably
Yep.
just like put them on your balcony and they would be dry by the next morning. Versus like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have been on like
They
a
don't
Disney
keep the
vacation
water.
before where I brought like my Converse, and then the next
Yep.
morning they're drenched still. Like there's no drying them out. You're stuck.
And they're
Like,
still wet, like, then you're like,
Yeah.
well, I guess I'm wearing wet sneakers because I have
yep.
Yep.
nothing else.
Yeah, no, they're not wet at all. But yeah, I have those, and then I have a pair of like Crocs slip-on sandals. Like they look like fancy sandals, but they're Crocs brand. So yeah, I have those too, which are also really great. They have that, little bit of texture on the bottom so you don't slip like some
Yeah.
Yeah.
normal sandals. So those are nice too, like for like a night of going out when it's rainy, if you don't want to wear something
Oh
like
yeah.
sneakers. But yeah, I am obsessed with those sneakers. My fiance Jake also has those sneakers. They make them in men's and women's and kids. So
Nice.
Mm.
yeah,
I just bring
I
my
know.
Croc like flip flops, not like the
Yeah,
Croc shoe, but I have the Croc flip flops, and when I think it's gonna rain, I'll
yeah,
either wear those for the day because they are comfortable to walk around in, or I'll just
yeah.
bring them. It just depends on
I used to just
But
wear
yeah,
flip
that's
flops, but as
strength.
I've gotten older, flip flops are not comfortable for a whole park day. So
they're
that's why
not.
I like the more sneaker idea because I just as I've gotten older, wow, I'm only almost
I don't
30,
know
so I
about you
definitely
guys. I see like I judge people's shoe choices like very
Oh yeah.
harshly while I'm in the parks because I see some
it's the
people
fancy
wearing those
strappy
like
sandals for me.
$2 Old Navy flip flops with like just the tiniest little bit of cushion, or they have these like strappy sandals on, and I'm like, how are you? I like how
I can't.
how are you walking? How are you like? I don't get it. Like I
Literally,
wear.
credit to the cute Instagrammers that wear heels to the parks for photos because I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you
I
do it.
have I have
Great
so many
work.
cute Vans and Converse and all of these super cute Disney shoes
Yes.
that if I'm going to the park for like 2 or 3 hours, I can wear them. But if I'm gonna be there for more than the three
In the
hours,
sun.
I in the sun, no, I can't wear them. There's
I
no
wore
way
my
my
Fab
feet just
Five
start going.
Vans one time to like a 14-hour Disney day, and I got shin splints.
Hmm.
It was
Oh
horrible.
no.
We walked 14 miles. We did magic, and then went to the like dropped everything at the resort, and then did a full Epcot, like so open to close both
Ugh,
parks. And I literally got shin splints. I was in so much pain. So yeah, just
I have a fun
that's
story
great.
for the elder
heat.
millennials out there.
Okay.
So back, this had to be either the late 90s or like the early 2000s. I wore, y'all remember those Steve Madden platform shoes? The black
Oh
one
yeah.
with like that big
Yes.
elastic band over it. We can put a picture in
Yes.
stories for those of you that don't know. But
They're kind of coming back
I'm
into
young,
style, which I
right?
think is
Like
the worst part.
I had to be in like my probably my late teens, early 20s, and I think like I'm hot, like this is it.
This is
So
a
like
look.
me
I
and
can
my
picture it.
girlfriend,
Yeah.
hmm we had on like I think it was like denim skirts. Like I don't even know like what the fashion was.
Probably
I
the
don't I
denim
don't even
skirt
know.
with like the double tank top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably or like some sort of polo
Yeah.
shirt with like a shirt over. I don't
Hmm.
remember, but I
I
do
can
remember wearing
see it.
those Steve Madden and like when you would walk, like that noise that it would make when it hit your
Yes, because they were the floppy
Yes.
note. Yeah, because they were so heavy.
I walked around all day in those shoes and I was young and like tiny little thin. I hadn't had
Springy.
kids yet. Like this I was young. My feet, I had shin splints at the end of the day. My feet
Oh
were
no.
destroyed. And I remember at that I don't think I've ever worn anything but sneakers in the park like since that day. Like I never. And I'll always anytime I like see people wearing bad shoes, I'm always like, Kristen, you were not above
Um,
that like 23 years ago. You were
No.
you were wearing the Steve Madden
my friend Frances
Oh
went
shoes,
my
home
God.
crying one
platform
time because of
shoes.
the strappy sandals. Because we did an all-day day
Ugh.
at Epcot, and she literally was trying to make it to fireworks, and she was like, "I have to go. Like I am in pain. Like cry, like sob." I was like, "Yeah, it's bad."
Ugh.
But
So
My
yeah,
it's
God.
just
your shoe choices matter. It matters if you're gonna make it
and it
from like, and
specifically
again,
matters
like
in the
Jesse's
heat
saying,
because like she said, in the heat things swell. This choice
hmm
matters.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh
choice
yeah.
matters. So yeah, if you're going in for like an after hours event and it's like 3 or 4 hours, like okay, but no. Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah.
If the sun is going to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
on
yeah.
you, if you plan on being on your feet more than like 2, 3 hours,
Do
think,
Yeah.
something about it.
use your
You,
brain, folks.
you need to use your brain.
My
Another hot tip is a bucket hat.
Or any hat.
Any
hat.
hat, bucket hat in particular.
You might think you're above it. You're not. They're great.
No.
I love it. They're great. They really, really help. I was never a hat person. Ask anybody that I know. They will tell you, oh no, Jessie doesn't wear hats.
Yeah.
I
She doesn't wear
became one
hats. There's no way.
when I started with our job that we all shared. Yep.
Yep. So being in the parks
Same.
all day, all the time, it gets so hot on your head. You can actually feel the
Yeah.
heat
And the sun on
like
your face just makes you hotter. It
blasting.
doesn't matter where you are,
Yeah.
what you're
Yep.
doing.
And you may say that, oh, a hat makes me hot. Well, yeah, it holds in the heat, but having that little bit of shade above
It
your
helps.
face and not getting your scalp burned,
It helps.
honestly, has been like the best discovery I've ever had. I'm not a
Hmm.
huge baseball cap person only because it does tend to squeeze my head just a little bit. And I don't have like a big head or anything, but the way that they sit on my head, I'm just not a huge fan of. I do own a couple of them because they were just too cute not to buy.
Yeah.
But bucket hats just they tend to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more floppy, so I can kind of move them and shift them however I'd like.
They're really foldable
Um,
too. You can like put them in a bag. Like
Yeah.
I can roll
Absolutely. And
those
I fold
up
it all
and
the
put it in a
time. I'm
bag.
constantly going like this, and I will
Hmm.
literally like fold it into a little triangle because I
Yeah.
can fit it
In a bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
In
do
a
in
with
the
cool
David.
bag.
Like
bag.
I just
Yep. And then with a regular hat, bring a carabiner. If you put a carabiner on your bag,
yeah.
you can just clip the hat onto the carabiner. Same with a cooling towel. So a lot of cooling towels, they will come in a little bag with a carabiner clip. If you clip that onto your bag, you won't even realize that you have it. It's not going to take up any space in your bag, but it's just a nice little debrief of being like, okay, I just need
Yes.
to get a little bit of coolness on me, especially if you find like a cool water fountain or a cool
Throw
sink
it
and you
on
put
there.
that cooling towel in there. Ugh, yeah, it's amazing. And I've sent Kristen and Yolanda way too many pictures of me like putting it on my head or draping it around my neck or
Under the
like putting
hat.
it over my
Yeah.
face or on my, yep, on my shoulders. Like I've
Yeah.
worn it so many different ways and I will literally have a challenge like, oh, how many ways can I wear a cooling towel today? Because honestly, it is like the best thing that anyone has ever thought of.
Yeah.
Another, if
They're a
you don't
lifesaver.
like carrying like a
Yeah.
full towel, like an actual towel, they have, I think they have them on Amazon, but I've seen them here at CVS. They're little packets called like Cool Me, and it's like a mint cooling towel. It's not necessarily mint. It has some kind of
Ooh.
coolant, and you just rub it on you, and you can like feel the coolness like right away. So like even if you don't want to carry like a full cooling towel, just having something like to wipe yourself to try and bring your temperature down is like a
Yeah.
massive help.
I've done
Yeah.
that
And
before. I've made like a cooling spray with like water. I think I put like a couple drops of peppermint oil or wintergreen oil, like one of those like
yeah.
refreshing
That's a
ones,
smart
and then like
idea.
a couple
Yeah.
drops of some sort of like binding oil or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you just shake it up before you use it, just like a little mist on your shoulders or wherever.
That's a good
And it
idea.
helps. It's, again, like it's still hot out, but like it gives you that like a little bit
It'll
of
help.
relief, even if it's just for a few seconds. Yeah.
Yeah. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. Another thing that I have not used this year, I actually have to charge it. It's sitting in my
Me
room.
too.
But I know you two are super known and love your what
My
is
neck
it?
fan.
Neck
You guys are both
It's
freaking
fans.
out.
it's the neck
Your
fan.
fans.
Listen,
Neck fans.
they sell the one with like the two circles here, right? And the one that's a full
Yep.
neck fan, I think is like $20 to $30 more. And you may see that price difference on Amazon or in Walmart or wherever you shop, and you or Target.
Way
And
better.
you may think bamboozlement. It's not. Spend the extra
Mm-mm.
20 to 30 if you are able, because having the on the back of your neck game, it's and let me tell
It's a
you,
life changer.
if I may suggest, if you're trying to save the battery, wait until you're inside and turn that thing on full black. Then you
Yeah.
Yeah,
have
so
the
it
cool
blows the
air on
cool
you.
air.
Are you kidding me? It's okay.
Yep.
Okay. There's
I didn't believe them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know people too
Last
that are like,
year.
oh, I don't like the way it looks,
I
or I
was
don't
one of
want it
those
sitting
people.
on my. No, you don't feel it on. I'm telling you, the
You
relief.
don't feel it. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't. I especially like when we're on a mission when we're in the parks, right? Like we have something to do.
Yes.
We're not there like to be
We have
cute.
like
Like I don't
assignments
care how
of
I
like
look. Like
footage you need to
Yeah.
get.
yeah, I look like a mess half the time. Like my hair is like this
Up.
and I'm
Mm-hmm.
just trying to
Just
stay
up.
cool. I got like all sorts of
Go
mismatched
back.
clothes on because I wasn't dressing for cute. I was dressing to be cool. And
Yeah,
like so I
comfort.
don't a neck fan, give it to me with a cooling
It's
towel under it.
amazing.
I don't get hat, glasses, you don't even know it's me because I have
Amazing.
Literally
so much
me, there's been
stuff.
so many times where I've just been in like the Emporium checking merch like full cognito. I don't look I just, especially when face
Nope.
masks were still a thing. I would have like the face mask, the glasses, the cool.
Oh
So,
my God. That was amazing.
Yeah,
an
Nobody knew who I
ordeal.
was.
nobody.
It was a
It was
vibe. I
great.
loved it. Another tip for like storm slash heat, and this is more of like a functional tip, is try and plan your day, specifically if you are going to Epcot or, I mean, really all of the parks, but mostly Epcot and Animal Kingdom. Get your outside rides out of the way at the beginning of the day. If the rain is going to start, I mean, just not if. The rain's going to start around 2 or 3. It's not going to start right in the morning. Everything needs to start evaporating, right? So, like, get your outside ride test track. If Florida whispers rain, it's going to close. Everest, same thing. If it's raining, it's closing. If Mine Train, all anything, Mine Train, Thunder Mountain, if it is remotely thundering, those are shutting down. And it's not even necessarily that they can't run in the rain, it's the thunder part. They are shutting down.
And you
So
don't want to
knock
ride them in the
out,
rain, by the way. It's
you
painful
don't.
to ride those in the
I've
rain.
ridden
It
Thunder Mountain in
It
the
hurts.
like
rain. You get
pelts you.
pelted.
Yeah,
But
it
Yeah.
just in
hurts.
general, not only will you get pelted, but like I know it might be very annoying, especially if you are a larger family, to bop around Magic Kingdom. But if those rides are important to you, if for some reason the Barnstormer is important, but mostly, like I said, like Mine Train, Thunder, when Splash was around, if these are important, get them out of the way before the rain because they could malfunction post rain and not reopen. It's Florida; the rain could continue the rest of the day. Um,
Did she
and
stop?
with the heat too, especially like for when Splash was open, in general, you want to get like that or the raft ride in Animal Kingdom out of the way because as it gets hotter throughout the day, the ride line will get a lot longer. So just anything
Yeah.
outside, try and knock it out, and then you can spend your really hot time in inside lines. So
Yeah.
just get on those. Just bop around. You're
Yeah.
gonna walk a little bit
It
more, but
makes
you'll
a
be fine.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like the inside rides, like you can literally wait 30, 45 minutes on an inside queue while it's thundering torrentially downpouring outside. And
Wonderful.
you're like, "Oh, I'm in an inside queue, so like where else could I be?
I
This is a
missed all
perfect
that.
spot to
Yeah.
be." Yeah, I know, it's
Just
perfect.
yeah.
Um,
Knock those out.
yeah. Also, always carry an umbrella. An umbrella is such a simple thing. You can go to Walmart, they have the totes umbrellas.
It's really
They're
true.
literally like, the size of your hand. They can
Mm-hmm.
easily get put into the side of a backpack or clip onto a backpack. They're not super heavy, but they're also not super big. So if you have like a family of four, you maybe want like two or three of those little baby umbrellas. If you happen to have a stroller, bring one big umbrella, and that's
Yes.
amazing. Um, for me, I just carry the little individual umbrella because I'm usually there by myself. I stick it in the little pocket of my backpack. So that way, when I go through security, you want to pull that umbrella out. So make it easily accessible. Because if
Yeah.
you go through security with it in your backpack, it's going to ding you. So you'll have to go wait in the line to check your bag. If you just pull it out real quick, hold it out in front of you, it's perfect. It dings in your hand, so they see that it's not in your backpack. And
And you
most of
move
the time, you can
on.
walk through with your backpack, no problem.
Yes.
But yeah, so having an umbrella has saved my butt. Like, even if it's
Sometimes
just
it's
like
just
a
really
10-minute,
unexpected.
yeah,
And
and
but
I've
it's
been in a
great for the
10-minute
heat too.
storm.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah,
great
and
for
the
the heat
heat
too.
too. Yeah. My umbrella is black, so it's not super helpful in the heat, but it still, provides some shade, which is great. So if you
Yeah.
do, want to use it for the heat, maybe don't get a black one, but
Yeah. I will say one more thing about like the heat in general, just if you are not from Florida. If you, specifically mostly for the parks with less shade like Epcot and like studios, if you do happen to like start feeling the overheated, right? Like if you're starting to feel like your heart's beating like slower or faster and you can't catch up or you're do not push yourself. I will tell you something right now. Once you reach the point of
yeah.
heat stroke, you are going every time you go back outside throughout the day, you'll go right back to that place. You cannot recover from it. You can't like
Yep.
there isn't any going back. Then it doesn't matter how much Gatorade you drink, how much ice you put on your back, you will feel
You
sick the
need a
rest of the
break.
day. It happened to me. Like, you will feel sick the entire day. So like, just try and save any party in your family before that. If you're visiting during the summer, just do check-ins with your family. Like, how are we all feeling? Do we need anything? Like, if you have to, if someone's, ask a cast member for a bag of ice. They can get it for you at a quick service location. Put it on your, I mean, pour cups of ice. Do what you have to do, but just do not let yourself get to that point, because it is.
Yeah. And also don't forget to eat food, because
Yes.
being in the heat makes you not hungry. And that is one of the
Yep.
biggest thing that causes the heat stroke is you get overheated, you get nauseous, you're not hungry, but you haven't eaten all day and you're like, oh my God, it's 3 o'clock. I haven't eaten anything. At
Yep.
least try to eat like a cold salad or a cold chicken salad, or, just get something in your body. Even if it's a couple of French fries, let your body digest it and just sit like in Starlight Cafe, hang out with Sunny for a little bit,
Do
listen to his
something.
glorious music, and just eat some snacks. You
It's true.
need food. If you can get some apples in your system, amazing. Carrots,
Yeah.
amazing. Anything to just hydrate you a little bit. That'll really help too. Because I,
Yeah.
I am that person. Like, I love food. I will literally eat all day long. But if I am overheated, I'm nauseous, and when I'm nauseous, I don't want to eat.
Yep.
So that's happened to me a couple times too. So just
Yeah.
try to eat, even if it's not a huge meal, just eat little bits throughout the day, even if it's just a snack here and there.
Yeah, that's what happened to
That'll
me at
help
Food and
too.
Wine. There was no recovering, and like she
Yeah.
said, like I wasn't hungry. I wanted nothing, and I just spent the rest of the day trying to shove ice down my body. Like, I was putting ice everywhere, and there
Miserable.
was no
Yeah.
recovering. So just, if you can prevent anyone in your party from that, the summer in Florida is no
Yeah.
joke. And just, yeah,
It's not.
keep yourselves
Yeah.
comfortable. The chafing, the shoes, the clothing, and most of all, prevent yourself from overheating at all costs.
Yeah. Eat food, drink water, use sunscreen, use a hat, use an umbrella, anything you can possibly think of to just, help a little bit with that.
You may
Yeah.
feel
Does
nerdy
anyone
and
else have
not so
any?
cute leaving your hotel room, but every other family there is going to look the same. So don't worry about it. Every
Yeah.
other family there, they're all going to you're all going to look together. Very, very, one unity when you get there.
No one's judging you if you're staying cool. Like,
No.
have that. I've never looked at somebody with a neck fan and been like, oh, they're wearing a neck fan. It's more like, oh my God, they're wearing a
Yeah, I'm
neck
like,
fan and
that
I
looks
forgot mine at
nice.
home.
Where did they
I've
get that
complimented
one?
people. I just remembered this one lady, and then I remember this one lady. She had a hat. Okay, it was a normal baseball cap, and the top of the
I
hat
remember
had a
this.
fan. I stopped this woman in her tracks, and I was like, that is brilliant. I was like, that is the best invention I've never been the same since I saw that hat. And I don't think I have. So anyways, like, in Florida, like, we're gonna compliment you. If you have a version of keeping cool that we haven't seen, we're gonna be like,
Yeah.
man, that's good. That is smart. Okay.
That is smart.
I love that.
I have one
True.
tip too, one last little
Okay.
Go for it.
nugget is to take advantage of some of the inside rides that maybe you wouldn't normally do or you haven't done them
Okay.
before. I know,
Or inside
yeah,
experiences.
just the inside experiences. I know at Magic, like we did Country Bear Jamboree, and like that's something that we do occasionally, but we don't do it all the time. But it was really hot, and my kids were like, "We haven't done that," and I'm like, "Let's go!" And like you get to sit in the air
Enchanted
for like
Tiki Room.
10 minutes. Carousel of Progress is 22 minutes in the air conditioned. I mean, and that show
Padded
is
seats.
perfection. So like that's a
Yep.
great one to do. Yeah, just inside experiences and stuff like that that you maybe normally are like not thinking of because you're like, oh, I got to get mine trained. I got to do this. I got to do that. Like, no, take it easy. Do some of these things that maybe you've overlooked.
Yeah, definitely.
Go shopping. That's my that's my personal favorite thing
Go
to do.
shopping. The animation experience at Animal Kingdom is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, any inside, rides, shows, experiences. The Frozen show at
Oh
Hollywood
yeah.
Studios is amazing. Yep, and padded seats.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's nothing better, man.
Gotta love a padded seat.
Padded seat
Any
in
other
Disney
hot
World and
tips?
AC. No. Okay.
Padded seats and AC, top
Oh,
notch.
Pixar
Muppet
shorts at
Vision's another good
Epcot.
one we do too.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yep.
Muppet
Both
Vision,
of those
Pixar
are great.
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even like meeting the new the live action Little Mermaid. I waited in that line the other day. It was like a 45-minute line, but it was inside
I'll
in
take
the
it.
AC.
And in a little
It was great.
museum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in a little museum with like little
Yeah.
pictures all around. It was cute. I was like, this is
And it's
great. I
cold
don't
in
mind
the
waiting
Walt
here.
Disney Experience too. The further you get in there,
Ugh.
it gets cold. We were in there
I
yesterday
love
and
it.
I was like, the further you walk back, I was like, it's frigid in here. This is lovely. Like, so yeah, that's if you're gonna wait for something.
I used to check that to make sure nothing had changed, just to get some AC.
I love it in
Oh yeah,
there. I could spend all day in there
Yeah.
and be
get some
happy.
AC. Yeah,
I mean, let me grab
it's
some
amazing.
Instagram pictures of something we have 1,000 pictures of.
It's fine.
Okay,
So,
listen, it's nice
I
and
love it.
cold.
right?
Awesome. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this fun hot tips episode of
Yes.
summer and staying cool and avoiding the rain and just being prepared. Again, we'll go and put some of those things in stories. That way you guys can have a little fun with all of that. But we appreciate you and we love you. And thank you so much for being a part of our Niche Girls podcast.
Yay.
Have a great day, guys. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.